What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrubae here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and today we're going to be talking about something that definitely would make me feel like I was the son of Poseidon and picked for a specific quest. This dude ended up finding a 900-year-old sword at the bottom of a river. Let's talk about it.
Get quiet now, lay low when you reach zone, piping down, making out, stack the bread, cause
Alright guys, so I think very few things would be as cool as finding like a 900-year-old sword at the bottom of a lake while I was scuba diving, you know. In all honesty, I know it's unrealistic, but maybe for a second I'd believe that like this was, you know, the universe's way of selecting me for some super dangerous quest. The headline in particular that I want to talk about today though is Diver pulls 900-year-old Crusader sword from the sea floor. As I said, your luck has to be on basically 11 to just stumble upon a 900-year-old sword at the bottom of the river, dude. Do you have any idea how many people have to have swam in these rivers over the last, 900 years? The odds that out of everybody that's kind of done this, that you're the first person to see the sword and grab it is slim to none. Not to mention, it says that, the sword itself was encrusted in maritime life, so little sea critters and stuff. Tell me that doesn't sound like a sword from Poseidon. A diver found a 900-year-old sword dating back to the Crusader period off of the Carmel beach in the north of the country, along with various other artifacts, the Israel Antiques Authority said Monday. Athlete, I hope I said that, resident Shlomi Katzin turned over the weapon to the Israeli Antiques Authority and was awarded a certificate of good citizenship. Dude, the more this goes on, the more this just sounds like a side quest in a video game. You know, if you retrieve the 900-year-old sword of the Crusaders, we will give you the certificate of good citizenship. Like, this literally sounds like it could be a quest, dude, in an old RPG game. The fact that this dude was just swimming along the coast, finds a 900-year-old sword. I also love that, somewhere out there is a place with enough history where they have to have an entire antiques authority to come out and verify how old stuff is. Maybe this is just me. I live in Las Vegas. We just kind of tear everything down after 50 years. We don't really have a lot of old stuff. So the idea that somewhere out there is a place where bumping into 900-year-old things is common enough, there's an authority on it, is pretty cool to think about. It is kind of sad that he turned over the weapon, though. I'm telling you, man, you could have kept it, dude. It was the universe's way of selecting you for a quest. You had to, go to the underworld or something and fight off demons. You don't get a 900-year-old sword encrusted in sea life and not end up being a superhero. I'm just saying, when the life gives you lemons, you're supposed to make lemonade. Katzin found the sword during a Saturday dive in an area off the coast where waves and undercurrents had apparently shifted sand, revealing the item, the IAI said in a statement. Dude, I'm telling you, this totally seems like it was meant to be. It was held there for 900 years. For 900 years, that thing is buried under the ocean. You dive in, or the lake, whatever, river, whatever. You dive in, and all of a sudden, the currents change, and it uncovers for the first time in 900 years, and you're just there to look at it. I'm telling you, man, this guy totally missed his video game moment. Seriously, though, the odds of that happening are so 1 in a million, you just have to feel like you're literally a part of history at that point. Because you kind of are, man. 900 years ago, dude, some rich crusader was on his way back to Europe, dropped his sword overboard after doing a bunch of horrible stuff. And then here you are 900 years later, plucking it out of a river. It's pretty impressive, dude. Humanity has only been around for a blink of the eye compared to how old the earth is. But even stuff like this is pretty cool, dude. This is what your history teacher talks about, where they're like, we are in history, but this guy literally was. The sword, which has been preserved in perfect condition, is a beautiful rare find and evidently belonged to a Crusader knight, said Nir Distelfeld, inspector for the IAA's robbery prevention unit. He assessed it as likely made out of iron, and there it is. I'm telling you, it looks like if you picked it up, you would suddenly be able to control the armies of the sea. I know that's a long shot, very unrealistic, but let's think about it one more time. 900 years ago, it gets buried. Now it's unburied. Looks like this. Gotta give you superpowers. I also love that they have a robbery prevention unit. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming that they want to come out and look at it underwater before they move it. These things are probably really fragile after 900 years, so, they have somebody come out and confirm it and keep an eye on it, dude. I'm sure there's plenty of scuba divers that would go out in the middle of the night and steal a 900-year-old sword just to mount it on their wall. They wouldn't be the most honest fellas on the planet, but they're out there. Seriously, though, this river is just so full of stuff that there's an entire unit just to make sure that people aren't out there stealing it, dude. Like, what other places can you say, I'm gonna go down to the river and might accidentally stumble upon a crusader sword, just kind of deal with it? You know, it's to the point where if you see kids playing with swords and you walk up to them, you're like, where in the world did you guys get swords? And they go, the river. Like, you know, it's unlikely, but you can't necessarily even say they're lying because there is a chance that somewhere down by the river was just like two swords. Obviously, I'm assuming they're going to move it to a museum, but like, how crazy would it be if for some reason this is so common? They're just like, we're going to leave it there. We have enough swords in the museum. I don't know, maybe it's just my way of thinking about it, but yeah, if this is so common where like people are bumping into it on a normal Saturday swim, then I'm assuming you guys already have to have a crap ton of swords in a museum somewhere. Concerned that others might find the sword before IAA officials had a chance to examine it in place, Katzen brought it ashore and took it to the Robbery Prevention Unit's Northern District office. The sword has been handed over to the National Treasures Department, and once the sword has been cleaned and researched in the IAA's laboratory, we will ensure it's displayed to the public. Alright, so as I said, I guess they are gonna clean it up and put it in a museum, dude. But like, honestly, man, how crazy. 900 years ago, let's put this in perspective. 2 years ago, if you would have told anyone that last year we were all gonna spend it inside, most stuff was gonna be shut down, and just barely would stuff be getting back to normal 2 years later, you would have looked at them like they were absolutely nuts. Now scale that up, what, 450 times more time, and then just like, that's how long ago? I do gotta wonder how this happens, though. How do you lose your sword? Was it like a dead dude's sword? I mean, I'm assuming a lot of people died in the Crusades. I'm not super up to date with my history, but I know it wasn't a great time. You know, no one was really having themselves a great time. Was it like, Jim died. I don't really feel like taking his sword all the way back, toss it overboard. Or was this some weird thing they did where it's like, oh, dude, don't forget to leave your sword, bro. Dump it off the side. I'm assuming Crusader Knights were a lot like frat boys of the mid-century. No offense if your ancestor was like a knight then or whatever. But I'm just assuming it was very culturally similar. Like they're just pounding back gallons and gallons and barrels of wine while like throwing axes overboard. I could just see a situation where that was what was going on. I don't know, I've just got a lot of questions. Regardless, I figured this was just a cool story that I would share with y'all. If you guys have ever bumped into something 900 years old while you're diving, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. If you really enjoyed the video, you want to help me out a bit more, you could, of course, check out the intro song. A link to it's going to be down below, along with a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, or you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout, another great way to support the channel. Beyond that, it is Halloween season, which means that you can get the Halloween merch. It's on your screen now. It's pretty fantastic. It's pretty amazing, and you can find yourself some at the top link in the description, so go ahead and get that if you haven't already. And yeah, on that note, guys, I'm going to go diving for some 900-year-old swords now. Wish me luck. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I will see each and every single one of you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.